Good morning, everyone. Hope this morning finds you well. Seeing as that I got such a glowing response from my last video dealing with some hot button topics and some polarizing opinions on things, I figured I would do that again because you people just love to complain. So, I'm pretty sure. I'm thinking about maybe doing a series of these. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see what happens. So today's topic of subject of discussion, I seriously and without a doubt think that in spite of some positive opinions floating around, I seriously and without a shadow of a doubt believe that the Power Rangers movie is going to suck. Let me explain this. I've seen the trailer. The trailer looks kind of dumb. And then I've seen the toys. And the toys are always a good barometer of, number one, the effects. Number two, just what the character designs are going to look like. And the just released the other day, the Megazord looks stupid. Okay? Now, and then I seen a breakdown of what the individual Zords look like, and they look stupid. They barely even look like what they're supposed to. They look like a Michael Bay CGI vomit. That's what they look like. Of course, we already know that Rita doesn't look like Rita or anything remotely close. And they have Bryan Cranston as Zordon because he's Bryan Cranston. There's no other reason for that. And then the Ranger suits look stupid. They look like they're, freaking Tony Stark designed them or whatever. And in all honesty, my personal opinion, again, which, you people tend to believe that I am asserting my opinion as fact, which is not true, is merely my opinion. However, I'm sure I'll get blasted for it anyway. The Ranger suits from the original 90s film looked better and fit more the aesthetic of trying to break away and do its own thing than these are. These are just like completely 100% removed. The other ones, at least, they took the idea of what a lot of the American toys did, I guess, to differentiate themselves from the original Sentai toys, is that they had the emblem on the chest, which was never in the show, was in the movie. So, I mean, that was one thing, and then you had like the different Ranger helmets had different powers and stuff like that. So, that made sense. It actually looked like proper armor. This just looks like garbage. So, I think them, basically turning it into a teen drama with superpowered heroes, a little stupid. Honestly, my idea that I had for the longest time is amalgamate the two origin stories. Have them be that, Rita shows up from whatever meteorite that's floating around out in space. And decides to call together one representative from each of the 5 tribes of the ancient world. And that's where you have the Rangers come in. And then you can have dynamics of, them willing to work together and stuff like that. You can actually have them questing for their power weapons, and even like the coins and the morphers and all this, and the crystals that they had to use and all these other things like that. And maybe even making the Zords sentient like they were in the Sentai, but just kind of amalgamate the two origin stories. Maybe use a version of the outfits that were in the movie. Maybe rework Rita's look, but not completely revamp it to where it's where if you put them side by side, they're two different characters. Now, granted, it'll be interesting if we had a little bit of Lord Zed in here. I mean, honestly, his look can only be improved on, not approved on. But they'll probably make him look like, Hulk Hogan or something weird like that, depending on, all the creative choices that they keep making with this thing is just ridiculous. And I know that there's some people out there who are, someone told me people are going to hate this. If they're already made their mind up to hate it, then they're going to hate it. And thing is, people in the opposite direction. If they made their mind up that they're going to like it regardless, and they're going to like it regardless. So, and some of you may say, oh, well, you're not seeing them in the context of the film. You're not seeing the robots in the context of the film. You're basing everything solely on the trailer. And some people will say to me, well, that's not a fair assessment. And I say to you, what's the point of a trailer? What is the point of the trailer if not to try to entice people to actually go and see the film? Now, maybe I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I will wholeheartedly admit it. However, other movie trailer guesses that I've made, and we're 100% correct on, Smurfs, Land of the Lost, Lone Ranger. So, yeah. 100% correct on all three of those. How terrible they were. And I didn't even have to watch them. And I haven't. Not enough booze in the world to make me watch Smurfs, for one. Number two, might watch Land of the Lost. However, I feel it's a waste of time. And when it comes to the Lone Ranger, it's just spitting on the memory of what was, as far as I'm concerned, as well as the other two. But that needs to be his sole focus. But anyway, so those are my controversial opinions. They are opinions. I am not asserting them as fact. They are what I believe. And I'm not trying to get you to believe it. I'm merely telling you what I think is the situation in regards to that film. So feel free to lambaste me in the comment section, and call me names, and all and speak to me with all sorts of hate, because that's what thinking rational adults do. They resort to childish name calling and temper tantrums. So I do apologize if this has offended you. That was not my intention, but if it did, so be it. I deal with it. Learn to live with the fact that people do not share your opinion. And I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.